Welcome back to Badminton World, the show that brings you all things badminton. The first quarter of the badminton year is done, which means the big tournaments are fast approaching. This time around, we take a look at the oldest badminton tournament in the world, the Thomas and Uber Cups. And the distance on the road to London 2012 is getting closer, so we check into the badminton scene in England itself, right from its roots. Plus, we get up close and personal with a legendary shuttler, Malaysia's Rasif Sidek. In this month's Badminton World, we start with the Thomas and Uber Cups. However, with all due respect to the Uber Cup, it can't be denied that the Thomas Cup is the bigger attraction for the fans. The Thomas Cup was the idea of, surprise, surprise, a man named Sir Thomas, Sir George Allen Thomas to be exact, and was inspired by the Davis Cup in tennis. The first tournament was played in 1948 after the end of World War II, and it saw 10 nations competing, with Malaya being the sole Asian contender. They eventually beat Denmark in Preston, England, and became the first country to win the Thomas Cup. Several format changes later, and yet the Thomas Cup is still being contested every 2 years since that 1948 event, which means that it's been running for 64 years, making it 8 years older than the Uber Cup, which was introduced in 1956. Over the years, the tournament has seen the number of participating countries steadily rising, and today, 12 countries from 5 confederations around the world compete in the final stage. From its humble beginnings in England, badminton has seen the dominance change from Asia to Europe and back again to Asia. As of this year, Indonesia has the best record, winning the Thomas Cup 13 times, followed by China, who only joined the tournament in 1984 and have won it 8 times. Malaysia sits at number 3 with a total of 5 cups.
Whenever we talk about badminton, we definitely must mention the Thomas Cup, as it is a very, very special tournament. Nowadays, if you mention badminton, most people will automatically think of the Olympics. But we must remember that the Olympics is about individual players, whereas the Thomas Cup is a team event, which I feel is on par with the Olympics. It is a big privilege for a player to be selected to represent his team and country. To play in the Thomas Cup is definitely a high point in any badminton player's career.
Maybe they itself is maybe special because always they play individual tournament, but only this time is team event in Thomas Cup. So of course I heard this Thomas Cup is very long history. So definitely is every players is want to win. So that's why it's it's a history. That is a very good motivation for players to win the Thomas Cup.
The last Thomas and Uber Cups were held in 2010 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It was the Thomas Cup's 26th tournament and the Uber Cup's 23rd, and considered to be one of the most competitive Thomas and Uber Cups in both the tournament's history. The semi-finals saw favourites China meeting host Malaysia and Indonesia meeting Japan. China crushed Malaysia's hopes of entering the final on home soil 3-0, while Indonesia beat Japan 3-1. China eventually stamped their dominance with their own convincing 3-0 win against Indonesia, claiming their 4th consecutive Thomas Cup win, although they lost in the Uber Cup final to Korea 3-1. And now, 2012 and the next Thomas and Uber Cups to be played in Wuhan, China. With all the preliminaries done and dusted around the world, the 24 qualifying nations for the Thomas and Uber Cups are ready for action. China definitely going in as the favourites, with Indonesia and Malaysia hot on their tails. Of course, in the heat of competition, nobody should disregard the underdogs such as Denmark, Korea, or even Japan. For former Thomas Cup winner Rexy Menaiki from Indonesia, it's going to be very interesting.
When we step into the arena for a Thomas Cup tournament, we do not feel like we are going alone because beside us, we have our teammates, team coach and team officials. Another special feeling for us Indonesian players is that we believe that when we compete, we are like soldiers who go to battle and are willing to die for our country. That is what makes us feel brave and courageous on court. That is also the reason behind our success and how we came back and won the Thomas Cup 5 times in a row in 1994, 96, 98, 2000 and 2002 after our 1992 defeat. That is the spirit we had in our Indonesian team, and I hope that the same kind of spirit will help the Malaysian team achieve its goals. So, we should not put all the responsibilities on the players alone, because the team coach, team officials and everyone involved should take equal responsibility when we go into the tournament. This team spirit will definitely make a difference.
Badminton. No sport comes close.
Time for a break, but before we go, here's another badminton brain teaser for you. Which country won the first Thomas Cup in 1949? Coming up next, we take a look at the road to London 2012 and see how big the badminton scene already is in England. So stay tuned to Badminton World.
Hi, I'm Mathias Bo from Denmark and you're watching Badminton World.
Welcome back to Badminton World. So how did you do with our badminton brain teaser before the break? Malaya is the right answer, and they have since won the cup another 4 times, with 2 of those as independent Malaysia. Moving on swiftly, it's Shuttle Time. In this edition of Shuttle Time, we see how flat play helps in training.
Pupils work in pairs to play rallies with forehand or backhand drives only. Partners work without a net 5 to 6 metres away from each other. The sidelines can be used. Start the rally with reduced speed, concentrating on correct execution and gradually increase the speed. Teachers should emphasise the ready position with the racket in front of the body and a tightening of the grip on impact to generate power.
Log on to bwfshuttletime.com to find out how the BWF Schools program is bringing badminton to a school near you. From youth development, we change it up to the big leagues and the Road to London 2012.
In our previous Road to London 2012 segment, we took a tour of the venue for the London 2012 Olympics, the Grand Wembley Arena. This month, we stay in England and take a wider perspective on the sport in the country. Badminton, like cricket and football, has its roots in England, so with the Olympics coming to London, it's almost like a grand homecoming. So we're checking in the badminton scene at its birthplace, where it seems that the centre of it all is the city of Birmingham, and more specifically, its community hall.
Hi, my name's Des. I'm the Centre Manager of the Community Hall at the National Indoor Arena, Birmingham in England. We're here obviously hosting the Badminton Championships this week. Obviously the players are using the Community Hall. We have 8 courts down here and the players are utilising the courts for their warm-up before they actually go upstairs and play in the championships.
And what's unique about the Birmingham Community Centre is a special badminton programme conducted there.
No strings badminton is a concept where a lot of the clubs around sort of like Birmingham or England, you have to actually have a member or be a member. No strings means you don't have to be a member. You can come down as an individual and just play, because there'll be different groups coming down, so you don't even need a partner to play. If you've got no partner, one of the guys behind reception will actually play. So it means there's no strings tied in. You can just come down and play at any time that you want. A partner, male, female, just come and enjoy the sport.
Believe it or not, badminton is actually the most popular recreational sport in England.
Once again, Birmingham's really big for badminton. We run with these organisations and I do a lot of sort of work within the schools for badminton. And we have the local schools come out and use all the badminton facilities, obviously down here because it's an indoor facility. Yes, we appreciate football's one of the big sports anyhow, but I'm sure badminton's going to be there. You know, kids as young as 4 are playing it, you know, right up to 60, 70. You don't get 60 and 70-year-old footballers, but they can come down and play badminton, so it opens that sort of age range for everybody. Brilliant, good sport, badminton.
Running badminton programs takes a lot of effort, and one of the most underrated tasks is stringing rackets. Not even an important tournament like the Olympics could go on without the racket stringer.
We string basically all the players' rackets, get them ready for their matches. That's the main function, really. Individually, probably about 20 to 25 rackets a day. There's 3 of us down here, there's some more upstairs, so we should get through 120, 130 rackets a day.
With so many rackets being used, it's a process that is continuous and efficient.
On the machine, you can do them in under 20 minutes quite comfortably. So about 2.5 an hour by the time you've got everything ready and then done all the logging in and out as well. So about 2.5 rackets an hour.
It might be a job that the fans don't think much of, but the stringers know the players appreciate them.
Well, they trust us with their rackets. I've been here for 18 years now, so they kind of know me and they know the team. So they, for us, for them, we're quite important, to have their rackets in the condition that they want them when they go on court. They do tend to break quite a lot of strings, so if we didn't have stringers here, you wouldn't have much play going on.
Hard work, but all worth the effort when trying to grow the sport and keep it alive. Meanwhile, in the race to the Olympics, the biggest story is Chen Jin, who took home the Asian Championships and Australian Open. Those wins are almost sure to guarantee him a ticket to London, as he has been battling to be amongst the top 4 that earns a 3rd ticket for China. He's currently ranked 5th, but based on points collected during the Olympic period, he's at number 4, ahead of Peter Gade. Defending men's doubles champions Marquis Kido and Settimon also did their Olympic chances good by winning in Australia. That victory could very well see the Indonesians inch ahead of their teammates Muhammad Hassan and Bona Septono. In women's singles, Lee Zhu-ri's hard-earned victory against Wang Yihan was the focus at the Asian Championships and means she could snatch another women's singles spot for China. She should be joined by the usual suspects Saina Nehwal, Tina Bourne and Julianne Schenk. No doubts as to Wang Zhaoli and Yu Yang's appearance in London. Again, no real surprises as to who will be joining them, with the only pair still looking to secure their place being Matsuo and Naito. While in the mixed doubles, all eyes will be on the top seeds and especially Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei, who with Zhu Chen and Ma Jin have all but secured the top 2 spots. Badminton. No sport comes close.
Coming up on Badminton World after the break, we have the latest tournament news for you, and we get up close and personal with a legend in the sport, Razif Sideh. So stay tuned to Badminton World.
Yeah, I'm Park Joo-bong. You are watching Badminton World.
This month saw the inaugural Axiata Cup. $1 million was the target for 6 Southeast Asian nations. Malaysia and Indonesia both with two squads, one young and one experienced, Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand and the Philippines. For those two squads from Malaysia and Indonesia, the older Tigers and younger Leopards from Malaysia and the more experienced Garuda and up-and-coming Rajawali from Indonesia, it was faultless through the round-robin format after 5 weeks of competition that saw them dismiss the other nations one by one. The semi-finals produced a Malaysia versus Indonesia fight on both sides of the draw, which Indonesia won to set up an all-Indonesian final. For Garuda, 3 consecutive 3-0 wins in the preliminary rounds against Vietnam, Singapore and the Malaysia Leopards before the semis saw their only lost game against the Tigers, but a convincing 3-0 win in the second leg meant they won 5-1 on aggregate. Rajawali were just as ruthless, also just dropping 1 game in the preliminary round against the Tigers, but 2 3-0 wins against Thailand and the Philippines saw them through to the semis, where they dismissed the Malaysian Leopards 6-0 on aggregate. Eventually, Indonesia Garuda emerged as the inaugural champions from a highly successful and enjoyed first Axiata Cup, beating Rajawali 2-1 in the second leg final, with Simon Santoso picking up the winning point in the first game of play on Sunday. But their win was marred with the defeat of their top pair, Mohamed Hassan and Bono Septano, which does not augur well ahead of the Thomas Cup finals.
Also, the draws for the 2012 Thomas and Uber Cup finals took place in Wuhan, with Groups A for both looking like the groups of death, as both contained China and Indonesia. From one of the biggest tournaments in the badminton world, we now take a look at some of the top players in the world today, based on the latest BWF World Rankings.
Badminton. No sport comes close. If there ever was a first family of badminton, then it has to be the 4 Sidek brothers from Malaysia. Today we talk with former national shuttler Razif Sidek, one half of the legendary doubles pair of Razif and Jalani Sidek.
Okay, I started playing badminton when I was 7 or 8 years old. All of this because of my father enthusiasm of badminton. He really loved badminton. So we have 5 brothers, you know. So 5 brothers, so I'm number 3. What I was advised from my father that if you play badminton, if you wish to play badminton seriously, then he will support us until the end. So we decided to play badminton then. And then slowly he will build a badminton court just next to our house, you know. And we start training there since then. When I was 9 years old, I already represented school, the sekolah rendah kebangsaan, jenis kebangsaan Banting, Jalan Raba. So at the age of 10 years old, I already represented the state, Selangor State. So from then on, I was picked by BAM to be schooled in Kuala Lumpur, from Banting to Kuala Lumpur. So I was placed at VI, Victoria Institution, from Form 1 to Form 5. So I studied there. So from there on, my performance, I become under 15 champion, under 18 champion, and under 21 champion for Malaysia.
When he and his brother Jelani started playing internationally, their success would come instantly.
So the first year, we went for the All England. I partnering my brother, Jailani. So that was in 1980. We entered semi-final. The first major tournament, All England, is one of my ambition is to become the All England champion. So we entered the first year. We entered the semi-final. So we were shocked. You know, we don't believe that we can strike that far. Because our dream is, I said to myself, my dream is to become All England champion and the Thomas Cup. So as the years goes, in 1982, we become the first All England champion. Considered the youngest, you know, among us. So that time I was 20 I believe. I was 20, my brother is 19. So we are very, we are very honored and we are very happy at that point. And we also don't believe that we can win the All England whereby it's to a short period, you know. Then that's the best moment on that time in 1980s era, you know.
Rexy Manaiki, former Indonesian shuttler and one-time rival of Razif, has nothing but praise for his friend.
Ya, kalau kita tengok ya, itu
When we
siapa
talk
sih
about Razif and
nasib
Jalani
yang jalan
Shide,
itu?
we must note that they are not only well known in Malaysia, but they are also well known in Indonesia.
Wow, ya karena kita juga
It also
sama
helps
bahasa,
that we speak
kita
the
kenal
same language.
rasa apa juga, ada rasa
We
yang
talk to Razif freely and he gives us good advice, almost like a big brother advising his younger siblings.
Jadi itu yang kita lihat.
And with so much potential, Razif somehow knew that the Thomas Cup, which Malaysia last won in 1962, might not be so elusive after all. And true enough, in 1992, as Malaysia's captain, he helped the country win back the Thomas Cup after 25 years.
On the final day, nobody can sleep that night. I believe, you know. I also a lot of pressure because we want to win this Thomas Cup. And then if we don't win this Thomas Cup, I don't think we have another chance because our team is so balanced, you know. So during that final day, my brother was not well, having a slight fever, you know. But we have to go down and play. We have no choice. We cannot switch the second double move up and then we have a replacement. No, we don't think of any strategy. This is the best. So I said to myself, although my brother is sick or not well, we have to fight. We have to fight until the end. We have to show all these players and these people, you know, and supporters that we have to fight till the end. So the first set we lost, second set we won, the third set just cannot. But we show these people that we fought. So at the end of the day, we lost. So the next is Kusuma against Alan Budi Kusuma. Kusuma never beaten him for the past few months. Never. Somehow or other, that particular night, he played so well. Tremendous surprise. Everybody is surprised. But we are well prepared. In the sense that we watch video, we discuss, you know, among us, how to play with Alan. And at the end, he won. So I know the third point must be coming from our second double, whereby our second double is always better than their second double. So that year, our second double was very, very strong. So we were so confident that we will win the second double. It's true enough. Our second pair delivered the winning point. At the end, we won the Thomas Cup. That is our dream come true by winning the Thomas Cup. And my ambition to win the Thomas Cup is fulfilled. So I'm prepared. I'm ready for retirement. So this is how we won the Thomas Cup in 1992. The effort that we put, the strategy, the togetherness. I don't see any team or any future Thomas Cup were having this kind of atmosphere. I don't think. So I will treasure this Thomas Cup until whenever lah.
His retirement came, but the passion in his heart could not keep him away from badminton for too long.
So then I have to work. My life have to go on. So I start doing some small business, and then I lay off badminton. But suddenly, some or other part of my family started want to play badminton. My son is now 7 years old, so he want to play badminton, you know. So from there on, then I have a desire to project myself. I said, okay, you know, I want to become a coach. So from that on, I said, well, I better start myself, prepare myself, myself that I want to give myself to Malaysia badminton to improve. How to give myself is doing coaching. So coincidentally, this Zakri and Faizwan left BM, and then they talked to me, say, can you help me to improve their performance, their ranking? I said, no problem, So I took up this challenge. So until now.
Razif has a strict side, but he also has a funny side, which sees him joking around with us. This makes a big difference in our training as the sessions are not stressful and we enjoy training under him. He is very good with the players and he knows how to win people over.
Rashid Sidek, Razif's youngest brother and also former Thomas Cup winner, agrees that his brother is quite the jovial type.
Outside the court, he's someone who likes a good conversation. And he also likes to joke around. And whenever you're around him, you will never feel bored because he creates a very cheerful atmosphere. I mean, it's just his character that's like that.
A truly inspiring chat with one of the 4 legendary Sidek brothers about a career that will be remembered forever. Badminton. No sport comes close.
So far, all the major tournaments of the first quarter of 2012 have been intense and definitely competitive. Coming up, the biggest of them all, the Thomas and Uber Cup finals in May and the London Olympic Games in July. And we can't forget the Jarum Indonesia Open and the Li Ning Singapore Open in June. Can the players and their adoring fans manage the stress of such a tight badminton schedule? For more information, visit BWF's official website.
With that, we bring you to this month's selected Super Series moment, Lee Yong-dae's winning point in front of his home fans at the Victor Korea Open 2012. And don't forget, if you have a favorite Super Series moment of your own, send it over to badmintonworld@totalsportsasia.com. That sadly is all the time we have for you this month, so don't forget, Badminton World, it's the world we know.